Presenting our Screamfest Career Achievement Award is not just a character actor. This man is a titan among any sort of character acting. Peter Jason literally is a good luck charm for both John Carpenter and Walter Hill. He's worked with the likes of directors Clint Eastwood. He's been on almost every television show you've ever grown up and loved. Ladies and gentlemen, Peter Jason.
Yeah!
Good evening. How come my picture's not on the poster? It's a pleasure to be here tonight, honoring my favorite director, John Carpenter. I tried to write a screenplay once, never finished it. I don't know how many John has written, but 34 of them have been made into major motion pictures. I confessed to him on Village of the Damned that I wanted to be a producer. I think I want to produce, John, I said to him. He said, oh, you want to be a producer? Okay. And he had me working craft services, cleaning up the stuff, and he had me being a baby wrangler, an office PA, second unit set PA, all kinds of stuff. At the end of the movie, I realized, you know, the easiest job on making a movie is being an actor. So I've never produced any movies. John's produced 9 of them. I've been in the business for over 46 years. I've never directed one movie. John has directed 28 movies. And he's composed, I believe, about 20. He's done the soundtracks for 19 of them. He's been a busy guy. We hope he'll continue to be a busy guy. Yeah. People ask me, you've been in a lot of John Carpenter movies. What's it like? You know, I said, well, one word: respect. John has great respect for the business, for the history of the business, where it's come from, for the people in it. On a John Carpenter movie, a family is created. And you'll continue to see many of the members of that family in many of his movies. And I love being part of the John Carpenter family because, number one, he pays more than anybody else. Number two, there's no screaming and yelling on the set. It's very conducive for a creative atmosphere. It's very calm. One time on a movie, someone said there was a little argument going on, and John walked over and said, "What, is there a problem here?" Oh, no, sorry, Mr. Carpenter, no way. Well, actually, there was a little problem here, and he said, you know what? You ever been in a video store? You ever looked up on the walls and seen the videos there? He says, it's been done before. It can't be that difficult. And that's pretty much the way it is on a John Carpenter movie. It's not that difficult, you know? We love working for him. And we love the fact that you are honoring him tonight with the missing Screamfest Film Festival Award for the 25th anniversary of Walter Carpenter's great career. Ladies and gentlemen, John Carpenter, my favorite director. Over here this evening to present John with this award, I said, you know, is there anything I should say about it? And my wife looked at me the way wives can and said, he eats his dessert first. John Carpenter, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Dave.
I want to thank Screamfest for this fabulous award. I'm very humbled by it. I want to thank Peter Jason, one of the few actors I truly do love. Mr. Hollywood himself, Peter Jason. So I think Brian is up there. Let's do a Q&A, shall we? Let's go.
Brian Collins. That's awesome. I get introduced by John Carpenter instead of the other way around. Thank you all for coming. Thank you, John, of course, for being here at Screamfest. I've been here all week. I've been watching all the movies. Your influence is evident almost on all of them in some way or other. There was last night. Who saw Vicky last night? It was a short film that was basically a love letter to Christine. So, obviously we haven't seen the movie yet, so I just want to, I don't want to keep it too specific, but how did you find the church, the main church that we see in the film?
The church is in downtown Los Angeles here. I believe Peter Jason told me it was Spring Street and 1st and 2nd. It was an abandoned church. Now I think it's something else, but it looks basically the same. It was perfect for us. It was isolated in a city landscape, and it was very cheap.
And then you shot the rest of the film at your old...
USC, and then we were out in, what was it, Lancaster, in a soundstage shooting the interiors.
And now you will see the credit when it comes up, written by Martin Quatermass. But that's a fake name. That's you.
That's a fake name. It's sort of an homage to one of my favorite characters in science fiction. Is Bernard Quatermass was in several movies in the 50s and 60s. It came from a BBC serial written by Nigel Neal. It's way back before all of you were born. So, but if you want to see some interesting stuff, check it out. Bernard Quatermass.
And speaking of the credit, that opening theme, do you know offhand, is that the longest piece of music you've ever done? It's like 9 minutes long, that opening.
It must be.
It's like jarring when you're watching the movie the first time it stops. It's like, oh, there's been music non-stop.
9 minutes?
It's something like
Wow.
9 minutes, yeah. You were more patient back then. Well, obviously we have Peter here. This was your first of, 7 films with Peter?
Yes, it
Something like
was.
that? Yeah. How did you find him?
My wife recommended him. She had worked with him on The Long Riders, a Western that Walter Hill directed. And thought he was a great actor, somehow. And Pete and I just hit it off. And we've been together ever since. We've been friends. We still hang around together.
Your first film with Peter, but it turned out to be your last film with Donald Pleasance after a few.
That's right.
Yeah. How was he on this? This is a more normal character for him.
Donald
compared to Loomis.
Donald was a friend and could play anything. And in this particular part, he got to sort of play a heroic character, which I think he enjoyed. He was playing heavies most of his career.
And then you're doing a lot of comic works now. Have you ever thought adapting? I think this would make for a terrific comic, actually. I know there's a Snake one a while back. Have you ever thought of readapting any of your old films like this to do a comic form?
Not really, but why not?
Yeah, do it. Right? You guys read it, right?
Yeah.
All right, let's. You guys got questions for this guy? Yeah, let's send that hand first.
I have a question I've always wanted to ask you. The Starman was one of the one films that has 3 makeup effects artists working on the same movie. Dick Smith, Rick Baker, and Stan Winston. And I was curious, will we ever see, I know I read that the sequence was kind of chopped up a little bit. Will we ever see that sequence in its entirety, kind of as a tribute on some kind of Starman DVD or Blu-ray?
Well, originally we hired Dick Smith, who's a legendary special effects makeup guy. He did The Exorcist and among a number of things. And he didn't want to do all the stuff, so he brought in Rick Baker and Stan Winston, and they did most of the work. Dick Smith, his one idea about Starman changing from a baby into Jeff Bridges was a series of sculptures that he animated. And it looked like stop-motion animation. It didn't work. So I said, well, what am I going to do with this? So I had ILM blend it together and make it smoother. I don't want you to see the original. What you see is the best there is.
Yes, sir, here.
Quick question. Have you had a chance to see the Thing remake and what you think of it? And did you ever...
Talk about the remake of the Thing. Show me your teeth. Oh, let's don't talk about that.
Thank you.
It's fine.
Back there, glasses.
Yeah.
it seems like we're going through a painful transition in filmmaking right now, where it's how you can monetize and make money making movies is really, really challenging for filmmakers, and we're transitioning towards this new media online. Do you have any advice? I mean, having done 34 films that were written, that you wrote, that were made into motion pictures, I can't even fathom a filmmaker doing that as successfully as you in the current environment. Do you have any advice for filmmakers and that are trying to do that now?
Yeah, find a time machine and come back when I started. Business has completely changed now. And I don't know what to tell you, man. You just got to keep at it. But make your own movie. The good thing is that you have the technology at your fingertips. If you care enough and you want to make a movie, make one. Make a great movie. Get it shown. Start. You got to start somewhere. And you can't sit alone and feel sorry for yourself. You're not going to get anywhere. So my advice is make a film. Make a great film.
And get him to do the music. Yeah, Russell.
You've made so many films on so many different budget levels. In your opinion, do you have one particular film that is the, how do I put this, the most complete vision that you started with that actually ended up as your vision intended?
No, never. Every movie that I've made, I can't look at it anymore, because if I look at it, I see all the mistakes. And I start groaning and moaning, and I turn my eyes away. Why did I do that? Why did I shoot them like that? Why did I let him overact like that? So no, I mean, it's better to have more money than less money. You get to buy more tools and toys to play with. You get to have cranes and better equipment. You can hire better folks to make your film. It's always good to have more money, but that doesn't mean it's going to be a better movie. I just was really lucky in my career. I started at an ultra low budget movie, and I've done, you know, all sorts of stuff, from studios to independents and back and forth. And I really feel sorry for all of you who are filmmakers, because you don't know what great times we had and what kind of opportunities we had when I came into business. I think it's all changed now. But anyway, I don't mean to depress you. It's all good.
Great.
About the technology and things, and things are not being filmed on film anymore. We just went to the Cinerama Festival here, and I haven't seen it since I was a kid, and it just blew me away. And I guess my concern is, yeah, the technology making the films is great, but what's being shown is not as impressive as it used to be.
Well, I think this is the last year, 2012, the last year in general in the United States where there are movie projectors, film projectors. It will all change to digital. And this is a decision that the theater owners and the studios made. Many films are still shot on film, but they're finished in digital. I've done it, you know. I've worked on completing a film in digital. It's great. It's fun. Unfortunately, or fortunately, depending how you look at it, as you get older, things start to happen to you. And one of the things is my eyes are not as good as they used to be. I had to have a bunch of surgeries this year. So it all looks great to me. It looks great. And, I don't go out to the movies anymore. I stay home and watch, because I've got a great big screen TV with great sound, and the Academy sends me all the movies every year, so I don't have to pay for them. It's really, really neat. I can watch the NBA on there. I don't want to leave my house.
Lord, it's an honor to be in your presence. You're one of my lifelong heroes.
Thank you. That's very sweet.
I had a question for you. I've noticed in many of your films you have an underlying mood that sort of seeps in, being the paranoia and feeling of, I've noticed, doom with Prince of Darkness. Could you maybe explain any conscious filmmaking techniques you use, such as camera angles, lighting, music, editing, that you use with your film specifically?
All of it. All of it goes together. And it all starts with the story and what you're trying to achieve with the story and the thematic nature of the story, okay? That's where you get all your inspiration. How you shoot it, what kind of music, where the music carries you, the colors that you use, the colors that you use in the finishing process. It's all should be united around the thematic material that you're working with. So there's no specific secret. You know, since I was a kid, the basics of cinematic storytelling have not changed. They're the same. The last big change was probably Birth of a Nation, or maybe Citizen Kane a little bit. But the specifics of cinematic storytelling are exactly the same as the old days. What's changed is the technology and the audiences and the kind of movies that are being made. So I find that I'm an old-time guy. I'm an old-school director. I just go back to the things that I used to love and how they affected me and what kind of mood they cast over me. Now, can we have one more question? I've got to go meet my drug dealer. So.
All right, the guy waving his arms all around. There we go.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I would love to see you make another vampires movie with a female protagonist vampire and James Woods back again for a recall if you ever consider it.
You got money? I'll make it.
We'll watch it.
All right, guys, thanks.
Woo!